Hey, this is Bremster, and now I'm coming to you with puzzle 12 in the Skilling Sudoku pack. This is Octoscope by Riffclown. This is, of course, another walk in the park puzzle, so designed to be doable by solvers of almost all skill levels. We're getting close to the ends of the walk in the park, so I'm starting to slow down. It really does depend on what I find. So, yeah, the links to this puzzle are below, links to the pack are below, links to the playlist where all of the solve videos that I make will be below. Yeah, let's get straight into the puzzle, shall we? So, normal Sudoku rules apply in every box, in every column, and in that's a row. In every row and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. And then the killer cages. So, in these cages, the digits that are placed in the cages must sum to the number in the top left corner of the cage, and digits cannot repeat within cages. So, as an example, I could not put 2 into both of those cells to make up the 8 cage with a 4 because repeated digits in cages. Pardon me, is not allowed. That would not work. So that's how this works. I'm going to restart the puzzle and let's give this a shot. So, well, I do know an 8 cage must have a 1 in it, and I can't put the 1 there. So 1 is in one of those two cells. This is a 9 cage with a 3 in it. So and it can't have a 1 in it because I can't put a 1 in either of these. So this is actually a 2, 3, 4. So this 12 cage cannot have a 2 or a 3 in it. So it must have a 1 in it. And it can't have a 4 in it. So this is actually 156. So this is a 156 cage, which means I know these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, they're not 4. This is a 7, 8, 9 triple, is what this is. And I could have got that by adding 12 and 9 together, getting 21, realizing that the leftover 3 cells had to sum to 24, and the only way to make up 24 is with 7, 8, 9. I could possibly do something similar down here. Well, this is a 12 cage with 9 in it, so this has to be 1, 2. This is a 12 cage that doesn't have a 1 or a 2 in it, so this is 3, 4, 5. Because if you look at the minimum values, once you can't use a 1 or a 2, it's 3, 4, and 5. If you add 3, 4, and 5 together, you get 12. So in here, this is 6, 7, and 8. Pardon me. So this has to be, these have to sum to 5 because, no, 6 have to sum to 6. 13 minus 7 is 6. So these are either 1, 5 in this order or 2, 4 in this order. So this is a 1 or a 2. Now this 12 can't have a 7 in it. And it can't be 129 because 129 would mean that there's nothing in that cell. And I can't use 4 and 5, so it can't be 3, 4, 5. So there must be a 1 or a 2 in this cage. I'm probably looking at the wrong thing. I tend to do that. Like, for example, this 29 cage can't have a 2 in it because this 2 sees all of this cage. These in the box and that in the column. So there's no 2 in this 29 cage. But that still leaves a lot of options. There's no 1 in this cage, but I don't know what this sums to. There's no 4 in this 29 cage. But again, that leaves a lot of options. There's no 1. Well, I know what this 34 cage is, because a 34 cage... So 4 cells to make up 30 is 6, 7, 8, 9. That is something you just learn if you do enough. But and then the only digit I can add to get to 34 is a 4, because I can't add multiple digits. So this is 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. That is the only way to make up this cage. I can't put 7 in there, so 7 is down here. So if this is 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, this digit, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. There must be a 1 up in here. Actually, I should look at this box because 17, these two digits have to sum to 9. So they're 2, 7, 3, 6, or 4, 5. Okay, this 12 without an 8, that doesn't do anything. But 17 and 12 is 29. So these have to sum to 16. There will be a trick I am missing. 29 doesn't have to have a 9 in it. Has to have a 9 or an 8, but I don't know which. Oh, hang on, this is known. This is a 1, this is a 2. Invisible given digits. This makes this a 1, and 1 and 7 means that this is 5. There is no 1 here, so there is a 1 in here. There's no 1 here. I can't put a 1 in any of these cells. So there is a 1 in this 12 cage. So a 1 in the 12 cage means 129, 147, 156. If it's 129, it's 1 here with 29 there. One's lining up doesn't mean much. This 10 cage. So these 10 cages. All I know is they can't take 8s or 9s, really. Should I be chasing 1s around the grid? Like, I can't put a 1 in here, but I don't have to put a 1. I have to put a 1 in one of those 3 cells. There's a 1 in one of those 2. There's a 1 in one of those 2. This is similar to an earlier puzzle. It means that I can't put a 1 in this 10 cage. Because if I put a 1 here, there's no 1 in this 8 cage. If I put a 1 here, there's no 1 in either 8 cage. If I put a 1 here, there's no 1 in this 8 cage. This is a 2, 3, 5, 10 cage. That is pointing 1s from these 8 cages into this 10 cage. That may be important. 2, 3, 5. 5, here we go. Where does 5 go in this box? It can't go up here because of that 5. It has to go in one of those 2, which means 5 is not there. This is a 1, 6 pair. This is the 5. This 1, 6 pair takes 6 out of there. 5 is in one of those 2. 5 in the 8 cage would make this 1, 2. This would be 3, 5. This would be 2. This would be 5. That seems to work. This 12 cage now can't have 1 in it, so this is 2, 4, 6. There must be an 8 or... Okay, so this is 2, 4, 6. There must be 8 and 9. Oops, not in all 4 of those. 8 and 9 for the row must appear here, so I can take 8 and 9 out of those. Now, couldn't do the same down here, I don't think. This had to be 2, 3, 5, but I don't know. If 1 is here, there's no 1 here, which means there's no 1 in this 29 cage. So that's a deduction. Again, the invisible given digit. Actually, can I do that with other digits now? Not that I can see. Well, there's no 2 in this 29 cage, but I've had that forever. I don't need that to do it. There still could be a 1 in one of those 2. I think. Oh, it can't be a 1 there. So 1 in this box is actually in one of those 2 cells. No, because it could still hide there. 1 is in one of those 3 cells. It can't be here. It can't be in either of those 2, and it can't be here. So 1 is actually in one of these 3 cells in this box. Can't be down here because it's got to be in one of those 2 in the column. Can't be here because of that. Can't be down here. So it's in one of these 3. That's very weird. If I could force an 8 out of this... Now, if this is a 1, this has to be an 8, 9, which would make this an 8, 9. But that works. This 29 cage doesn't have to have a 9 in it. This is a triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3, 8, 9. So this is a 3, 7, 8, 9 quadruple. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these are 2, 4, and 6. And they still could be 4 or 6 if that is 4 or 6. So that means this is a 3, 5 pair, because I can't put 3 up here. Because 3 has to be... Wait a minute, 3 has to be up here, it's not here. And 7 has to be up here, there's nowhere else it could be. So that's not 7, this is an 8, 9 pair in this row. Oh, there's no 6 here, that's the trick. Much easier way of doing it. So I can take 6 out of all of those. That's 4, 8, 9. That is 7. That is 6. Okay. So this is not 2, and this is a 3, 5 pair. Right. There you go. Much easier way of seeing it. 2 is now down here. So there is no 2 in this 8 cage. So this is 1, 3, 4. That's the 3. This is a 1, 4. This is 2, 3, 5 with the 2 down here. Actually, this is the 5, so the 5 comes out of there, and this is a 2, 3. This is the 1, and this is the 4 because of that 4. That takes the 1 out of there. I don't need a 1 in this 10 cage yet. It could be 2, 3, 5. Can it still be 2, 3, 5? 3 would be here. This would be 2, 2 and 5, which would make this 5, which would make this 3 and this 4. I think that's all okay. There's nothing obviously wrong with it yet. Okay, there's no 4 there. This is a quadruple, and, you know, never back away from a good quad. 5, 7, 8, 9. That can't be 7 or 9. Or 5. That's an 8. So there's why you don't back away from a good quad. 5, 7, 9. So there's an 8 in this 29 cage. So 2, 3, 7, and 9. Or 3, 5, 6, and 7. So there's a 5 or a 9 in here. If it's 3, 5, 6... Well, there must be a 7 in the cage. So there has to be a 7 in here. Must be a 6 up here. Actually, there's something I can remove from here. There's no 4 there. This is a 2, 6 pair. This is the 4. This is the 2. Now, this 29 cage. I feel there's something more happening with this 10 cage. I really do. Like, it can't have a 4 in it. Because for it to have a 4 in it, there's no cell that can take a 4. That 4 sees those, that 4 sees that. So there's no 4 in it. If there's a 1 in it, the 1 is here. And then this is either 2, 7 or 3, 6. And it would be 1. Is 2, 7 really not limited? 2, 7 or 3, 6. And if it's 2, 3, 5... the 3 goes there, and this becomes 2 and 5. So this can only be 1 or 5. What about this 8 cage now? Can't put 5 in either as cells. This is 1, 3, 4. This is not the 1. There you go. There's no 5 in this cage. That's what I needed to see. So this is 1, 3, 4. This is 1, 3, 4, 5 now. Which means 1 has to be in one of those two. 1 is not here, and there is no 1 in this 29 cage. I have no idea if that's useful, but it is a thing. There now must be a 3 in this cage. Okay. This 12 cage must have a 1 in it. This is 1, 3, 4. 1, 3, 4, 5. 2 can't go there. So 2 is actually in this cage. So there's a 1 and a 2 in this 12 cage. This is 1, 2, 9. This is the 1 because it sees 2 and 9. This is a 2, 9 pair. And these are 6, 7, and 8. That's not the 8. That's not 6 or 7. That is the 8. So there is an 8 in this 29 cage, which means there's no 8 up there. There's a 6, 7 pair. That's very cool. So this 17 cage now, it can't be 2, 7, 8. That's not possible. 3, 6, 8 would be 3 and 6. And 4, 5, 8 would be 4 and 5. Because of the 3 and the 4 looking down. So these are all 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can't put 5 there. So 5 is in one of those two. 3. I'm still moving through this at a bit of a pace, so I'm not too worried about getting the difficulty wrong, I suppose. There's no 6 here anymore. So this is not 1, 3, 6 anymore. So it's 1, 2, 7 or 2, 3, 5. Either way, there's a 2 in it, and the 2 must appear in one of those. This column? Well, that's not a 5. So 5 is in here. But this column, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. And there must be a 6 in this cage. So this cage is known. This is 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's no 2 in these. There never could have been there because of those. But this is 3, 5. There's no 4 in here. This is a 3, 6 pair. So this is 3, 5, 6. So this is 5, 7 by the makeup of the cage. This is 3, 6, which makes this 4, which takes 4 out of there. This becomes a 3, 5 pair, which takes 3 out of there. There's no 3 in this cage. This is now 1, 2, 7. There you go. Now 3, 6. This is 4, so this becomes 2. This becomes 4. The 2... Wow, okay. Now the 7s are locked into here and here. So that is an X-wing on 7s, basically. If I put a 7 here, this becomes a 2 and this becomes a 7, and I've taken up both 7s. 7 makes that 5, and that becomes... if 7 here makes this 2, which makes this 7, and I've taken up both 7s in the column. So I can never put 7s anywhere else in these columns. So this is not the 7. 7 must be in one of those two, which means this is not the 7. 7 must be down here now. It's the only place it can go in the row. So there is a 7 and an 8 in this cage. So this cage is now known. It's 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I've already got the 8. I can't put the 7 there because of the 2, 7 pair. In this row, this is the only place for a 4. So that becomes a 4. 4 and 8 is 12, so this has to be a 5. Okay. So there must be a 6 and a 7 in here. So there's no 6 here. This is a 3 or a 5. 3, wow. There's no 6 or 7 here. This is a 3 or a 5. I've got a 3-5 pair in the box. I can take 3-5 out of there. This becomes a 6-7. This is not a 1 anymore because of the 1 over there, but I must have a 1 in an 8 cage, so that becomes the 1. 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 9 down here. Well, there's no 5. This is the only place for 5 in the box. So this becomes the 3, this becomes the 4, this becomes the 6, which makes this the 3. That has to have done something, right? This is 4 or 9 for the column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 3, 4, and 9. There's no 3, 4 there. That's the 9. So we've got a 3, 4 pair looking up, making that 2 and that 3. The 2 makes that 6 and that 2. This is still 4, 8, 9. No, this is 8. This is not 8. I've got a 4, 9 pair. 3, 4 looks up, making that 9 and that 4, which makes that 9. The 2 here makes this 7, 2, 5, and 7. Getting through it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is an 8. There is now an 8 in this cage, but I don't know what the total is. So all I know is I can't put 8 in either of those cells. So this has to be an 8. Can't put 8 is in one of these 2 cells by Sudoku, but it can't go repeat in the cage. So that's not the 8, that is the 8. Which means that's the 9, and I can take 9 out of both of those. That's a 7, 8 pair. I can take 8 out of both of those. That becomes the 8. There is no 8 down here, so this is a 6, 7 pair, which means this is now the 8. That is why you have cages without totals. And it's possible I didn't need that to resolve it, but, you know, it's cool. That couldn't be an 8 because of the cage. This is a known pair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 and 6. So 6s are lining up, which means 6 has to go in one of those 2, and that doesn't help me much. But this says 5, 7, or 9, so this is actually a 5, 9 pair. Scanning. The 1 looks up, making this the 6 and this the 1. The 6 look down, making this the 2 and this the 6. The 2 looks down, making this the 9 and this the 2. This is now a 7 or an 8, and it can't be an 8. 7, 8, 7. The 7 looks over, making this 6 and 7. The 6 look back, making this the 6. So this has to be the 5. This, no, wait, that's not the 5. There is no 5 or 6 there. 1, 2, this is a 3, which makes this a 4. And I've made this mistake before where I've seen pencil marks and say, I just eliminated one, so it has to be the other, but I forgot to eliminate a pencil mark for a different option. Always be careful about that. 6 looks down, making that 7 and that 6. The 5 here looks up, taking 5 out of both of those, so that becomes 9, 7, and 5. The 5 looks over, making that 9 and 5. This 5 looks over, making this 3 and 5. The 3 looks up, making this 9 and 3 in the corner to finish the puzzle. That is Octoscope by Riffclown, which was puzzle number 12, and one of the later walks in the park in the Skilling Sudoku pack. Hope you're enjoying the puzzles, hope you're enjoying the pack, hope you're enjoying the videos, and as always, good luck with your solving.